Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube NFL prediction segment, I'm going to be giving you my picks and analysis for Week 16 of the 2020 NFL season. Now, first game up, Minnesota is going to be at New Orleans. Now, Drew Brees completed under 50% of his passes last week, but against the Chiefs. But on the good side, they almost won the game. He was coming back off some rib injury, and he really he did not play well, but the Saints almost prevailed. And I think that's a good sign for them. And you get Drew Brees close to 100%. The Saints can be nearly, unbeatable, everything but unbeatable. Now Minnesota coming to town. Minnesota really has not really lived up to expectations this season. If it wasn't for Dalvin Cook, I don't know where Minnesota would be at this point in time. And Kirk Cousins as well, still very efficient quarterback. But in this game, being at home for the Saints and going for a final, trying to secure, maybe perhaps get a number one spot. I don't know if they actually can. I don't think they can secure anything this coming week, but they still at least have a chance to get a number one spot at this time. I think they're 10-4, so they do have a chance to perhaps go a little bit higher in terms of their playoff positioning. So I'm going to go with the Saints at home in this one. Now the next game, I'm going to take Tampa Bay on the road against the Detroit Lions. Now the Lions are one of the worst teams in the league, I believe, in their scoring defense. And you look at Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers are ready to make, I believe, strong playoff push right now. I don't know if they've actually secured any spot, but they still can still can have an outside shot at that NFC South division. They still can play for that. I think Detroit basically right now, there's not a whole overabundance of things they could play for except for pride right now. It will be at Detroit. That game might be a little bit tighter than a lot of people think. When you have Matthew Stafford on that team, you could be in a lot of games and they'll keep it competitive. But I like the Buccaneers and their offense with Gronkowski and Brady and company to get the job done. And I like the Buccaneers in a close one at Detroit. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals at home against the 49ers. The Arizona Cardinals right now look like, again, not to be redundant, but it's another team that's going to be trying to make a very strong playoff push. I think Arizona's starting to play, go back to playing cohesively and having I believe he's the number one receiver in the NFL in terms of receiving yards. The Hopkins, he can, a lot of these accolades, a lot of the praise is going to Travis Kelce. People have to remember that Hopkins is the number one receiver in the NFL in terms of receiving yards. And you look at this game, San Francisco looks like they're getting succumbed to like a Super Bowl hangover. I know they've been I believe ravaged with injuries, and that certainly has not helped them. I want to take Arizona to get this done at home. Now the next game, Miami is going to be at Las Vegas. I mean, this game has the makings of a very classic toss-up. Miami is really they're playing very well at this time. Las Vegas may still be. I don't know their situation. I actually haven't looked to see if they've been mathematically eliminated from playoff contention, what have you. But Las Vegas, still being at home, it's a game on the NFL Network, so anybody that has NFL Network can watch it, of course. And it's going to be a lot of people are going to be seeing this game. But in this particular matchup, I am reluctantly going to be taking the Miami Dolphins to win this game. I think it's going to be very tight. I understand this one can go either way, but we'll go with the Dolphins in this particular one. I believe they're also Miami Dolphins, one of the top teams in defensive interceptions as well. So that their defense is what may make the difference in this game. Anyway. Well, the next game, I'm going to take Kansas City at home against the Atlanta Falcons. No shocker there. Kansas City's like 22-1 in their last 23. This team is shown to be everything but invincible. This is a team that's have some streak of scoring like 21 or more points in a certain amount of games consecutively. Their offense, I mean, seems to be everything but unstoppable. This team might actually be better than the one that won the Super Bowl last season. Now, Atlanta, and you have Matt Ryan, of course, who always got a chance on your team. You have you're talking about having a running a maybe a decent running game anyway. The Atlanta Falcons are not completely terrible team. I respect and understand that, but I don't know if anybody's gonna from this point on going to be able to go into Kansas City. And when Kansas City just has one loss at home this season, and Atlanta Falcons are having to go on the road and play in a very tough stadium to win, I just don't see them getting it done. I'm going to take Kansas City to get this done at home. Now, the next game, I don't know if you really need a lot of analysis for this one. Cleveland is going to the New York Jets, and nothing against my New York Jets, but I mean they're just deplorable. They can't. They won last week. I think that might have been more of the result of the Rams becoming complacent more so than anything. We have the Cleveland Browns right now playing at a very high level. They're playing like they can. I mean, they're a team that might actually be right now the best team in the division in the AFC North. I understand that Pittsburgh it has the lead in the division at 11-3. Browns are 10-4, but Pittsburgh is floundering right now. The Steelers have only, they've scored like 17 points or less in the last 3 games or so. And this is a team, the Browns right now seem to be very focused and disciplined. I don't think they're going to get cocky or complacent against this New York Jets team. I think what's going to happen is Nick Chubb is going to be running, rampant over the Jets' run defense in this particular game, and I like Cleveland to get this done on the road. Jets simply can't score many points. They're one of the worst scoring offenses in the NFL at this point. I'm going to go with Cleveland to get this done. Now, the next game, I'm going to take this game, it's hard to believe that Pittsburgh is on the threshold of losing 4 consecutive games right now. They've lost 3 in a row. The offense doesn't seem to be playing cohesively. It seems like the defenders have really played the Steelers receivers very well and have stuck to them basically like super glue. I don't think it's all Ben Roethlisberger's fault. It seems like it's something, for whatever reason, the receivers don't seem to be getting open as much. I think it's just, it's a situation on the offense in general. But whatever it may be, I understand Indianapolis is really playing very well right now. There's a lot of reasons to think they could go in there and beat Pittsburgh. Their offense has been playing better than the Steelers in recent weeks. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think right now, they're going to have to come out with a lot of urgency. I think they're going to get this done at home. I think it's going to be a very tight game. The Colts they definitely have the potential to go in there and win, because Pittsburgh right now, they look like they're just really, on the offensive end especially, they're just they're starting to fall apart. But I think they will get it together in this game. They have to play like this is their season. They may have made, with 11 wins, I think they more likely than not have clinched a playoff berth. But you want to go into the postseason playing well, of course, and I think in this game, this is the game that they can get back on track and get this done. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh to get this done at home. Now, the next game, Chicago is going to Jacksonville, and this game, for me, Jacksonville's lost 13 consecutive games. It's a floundering franchise. I don't know. Life after Leonard Fournette has obviously not been stellar for this team, and the Chicago Bears, they're at least playing competitively. They did look very good in their win last week. I think this is a game where I don't know if Jacksonville is going, really going to be able, to do that much on the offensive end and defensive end. Chicago, luckily for Jacksonville, Chicago's not exactly, I don't think they're world beaters in either of those departments themselves. but they are playing a little bit better than the Jaguars. So I'm going to take the Bears, maybe reluctantly, to get this one done on the road. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, so I got to kind of scroll down the schedule here and see what the next games are. Well, the next game, I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens at home to get it done over the New York Giants. The Ravens, I don't know if they have that ravenous defense back or not, but they seem to be starting to come together at the right time. I certainly wouldn't count out the Ravens. If they're in the postseason, they may be able to make some noise. The Giants right now, they were a team that actually had been playing well for a little bit. They looked like they were, I was thinking, looking at them as the resurgent New York Giants, but right now it's almost the floundering New York Giants once again. Lamar Jackson is going to be a little bit too much for the G-men to handle. The Giants defense is really not that bad. They have not been playing terribly, but the offense has looked anemic over the last 2 weeks. The Giants scored like 6 points last week, and they didn't put up many in the previous week when they played Arizona. They did not really look like the offense did not look formidable, to say the absolute least. And the Ravens are the best running team in the NFL, and I think it's going to challenge the Giants' run defense in this one. Lamar Jackson might be running rampant in this game, and the Ravens are pushing for the postseason. The Giants still have a shot to win the division. It may not be a great one, but the Ravens are, I think most people will concur, they are the better team top to bottom. And they are at home in this one. It's tough to win at Baltimore. I believe they will get this one done. I like the Ravens at home. Now the next game, I'm going to take Houston at home over the Cincinnati Bengals. I know that Cincinnati did beat Pittsburgh last week, and that was at Cincy. This is going to be at Houston, and this game I'm looking for. I mean, the Houston Texans right now, they are a team. I mean, I see. Looking at Houston, they are a team right now. You have as far as their quarterback Watson is still a player. When you have Watson on that team, they could still be a team that could be competitive in a lot of their games still. I see Cincinnati going, and I mean to envision that the Bengals can actually win consecutive games, to me, is something that I just don't really. It's really hard for me. It's hard for me to envision at this time for them to actually to do that. The Texans are dead last though in defensive interceptions, and this is the thing about it is the Bengals may actually be able to have some sustained drives and really make this a little bit closer than a lot of people anticipate. The Texans have obviously they have gone down. They have declined since last season. I think the loss of DeAndre Hopkins certainly is something that has hurt them, maybe more significantly than they would care to realize. But the thing about it is they are playing the Bengals. The Bengals are one of the worst teams in the NFL. They don't exactly have an impeccable road record in recent years. So for those reasons, I'm going to take Houston to get this done at home. So anyway, people. Well, the next game, I'm going to take the Chargers at home over the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos they're up there in terms of most interceptions thrown. I don't know if their offense is going to really be able to do much with the Chargers. Neither one of these teams are really playing that great. I would just take the Chargers mainly on virtue of them being at home in this particular game. The Chargers quarterback may get Rookie of the Year. He may be the front runner in a lot of people's minds right now. And the Chargers have really, I mean, even in a lot of their losses, they have been competitive. I think in this particular game, looking at this, I mean, it's really you have two teams really that just aren't very good going against each other, and it's not where it really requires an overabundance of analysis. So in this particular game, I'm going to take the Chargers to get this one done at home in a tight battle. Now, the next game. Well, next game, I'm going to take the Washington Redskins to win at home over the Carolina Panthers. The Redskins have certainly superseded expectations. They are winning. They're currently in first place in the NFC East. The Giants have not been able to capitalize on any chance to win. Maybe some games maybe they could have possibly won. I think the Redskins are going to finish the season in first place. This is a game that's very winnable for them because Carolina certainly is not a world beater. This is a game right now when you look at the Redskins. I don't know if Alex Smith is playing or who they're going to have at the quarterback position, but they do have enough on this team right now, I believe, to get this job done and defeat Carolina in this game. And Washington, all credit to them, they have really played a lot better than a lot of people thought that they were going to be able to play at the beginning, as far as prior to the season starting. I'm going to take Washington to get this one. I mean, you had all this controversy over the name change, and I might have said Washington Redskins. I meant Washington Football Team. I'm sorry about that. But you had the team, with the controversy over the name change and distractions at the beginning of the season, and people talking about their owner Snyder and but yet they found a way to be right there right now, and they're going to likely make the postseason. So I'm going to take, I don't think they're going to let Carolina possibly derail that, so I'll take the Redskins at home to get this done. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys reluctantly to win at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. These teams, I mean, Philadelphia is right up there in defensive interceptions thrown. I don't know. As far as Carson Wentz, he might have taken his last snap for the Eagles. I know they got hurt at the quarterback position now, and he has not looked terrible. It's a team that still has a potential to be competitive, I would say. But Dallas Cowboys right now going to be at home. They did look. Dallas had looked good last week. They're a team I believe might actually finish the season strong. Maybe Andy Dalton is starting to synchronize more with the offense, and they're starting to really to click on more cylinders now, more so than they did previously. They had their backup running back in, and he actually played very well last week. The thing about Dallas is they are one of the worst teams in the NFL in run defense. The Philadelphia Eagles are probably going to go in and try to play, methodically, just run the clock, try to dominate time of possession, and get this done by doing that, and really try to keep the ball out of Dalton and company's hands. But I don't think it's going to be enough. I do think that Dallas is still going to be able to put up more points than the Eagles. I think their offense can be a little bit better in this particular game, and I like Dallas to get this one done at home. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks at home against the Los Angeles Rams. Now, the Rams are right up there in total defense. They have actually played very well. When you have Aaron Donald on your team, I mean, as far as on the defensive end, you can always you have a good shot to make the games competitive. But the Seattle Seahawks are still one of the better offenses in the league. They're going to be at home. The Rams squandered an opportunity to be more in that thick of the division title by losing to the New York Jets last week. Seattle right now is still, they're a team to be reckoned with. The problem with Seattle, though, is that there's one of their pass defense is really abhorrent, and the Rams will keep it competitive, I believe, by having sustained drives and being able to pass on the Seahawks. But I think when it comes down to it, you have one of the best closers in the game with Seattle, and they are at home. They're still could be a very good home, still very good home team, I would say. And you have one of the best closers with Russell Wilson. I think he'll make some plays near the and at the end of the game, near the end of the game to get the win for the Seahawks. So I'm going to take Seattle to get this one done at home. Now, the next game, you're looking at Tennessee Titans going at the Green Bay Packers. Now, the Tennessee Titans have nearly I would say they actually have surreptitiously become the best scoring offense in the NFL. They're averaging like 31 points per game. I mean, much kudos and praise to the Titans. I mean, we hear all the talk about the Kansas City Chiefs and other teams that are a little bit more flamboyant people on their team, flashy stars, but the Tennessee Titans have really just found a way to put up a good amount of points on the board. When you have Derrick Henry, their running back, the leading rusher in the NFL right now, it really that has really propelled their offense. I don't know where the Titans would have been without Derrick Henry. And Ryan Tannehill is not somebody that puts up like 400 passing yards week to week or anything like that, but he still is very efficient, throws at has a very good completion percentage, and he gets the job done. Very consistent and reliable. You're going up against Green Bay. Green Bay is going to be at home. They're one of the Green Bay Packers, as far as their I think they're one of the best teams in time of possession. Green Bay Packers are number one at time of possession, and again, Titans being number one in scoring offense in the NFL. But the Titans are, and also Titans are number one in turnover differential. But the thing about it is, when we look at this, Green Bay is at home. I think Green Bay is going to dominate the time of possession. I think it's going to be a very tight game. We're going to find out a little more about these teams in this game. This could have the makings of the marquee matchup of the week. The Titans are a very good road team. I would not be shocked or flabbergasted if they did get this W on the road. But I just believe that Green Bay is starting to click right now, and they're going to finish the season strong and try to get that try to solidify the number one seed in the NFC. The number one seed, it's even more important now, as many of you may know, than in previous years, because given that they've added one team to the playoffs in each conference, because of that, only one team gets that first round bye, and it could be critical for Rodgers being an older, older player, not old, but an older player in this league. It might be beneficial to him. Now, I know one season it wasn't, because some of you may have remembered it was like 2012 where the New York Giants played Green Bay. In that second round, the divisional round, the Giants emerged victorious, and the Green Bay Packers they had the bye. They were 15-1 going in, and Green Bay lost to the Giants in that divisional round. But I don't think that's going to be the case this time. I think Green Bay gets the win in this one, and they continue to push to get the number one spot in the NFC. I think this is going to again be a very tight game. It's something I'm certainly going to be glued to the set if it is if it is on TV in my area. I mean, it's hard not to watch a game like this. But I'm going to take Green Bay in a very tight battle to get this done at home. Now, another thing that I wanted to, looks like there's one more game remaining, and sorry people, I'm just trying to scroll down here and see the game. The last game of the week, Buffalo at New England. Well, in this game, I mean, it doesn't require an overabundance of analysis. I'm going to take Buffalo to get this W on the road. New England looks like they're in reclamation mode right now. The Buffalo Bills, they're pushing for a certain playoff positioning. They already have clinched the division. New England does not have a lot to play for. They've been mathematically eliminated from postseason contention. Cam Newton may not play this week. They might be putting another quarterback in. If they put another quarterback in, that would probably be to their detriment. New England is really playing right now to really, they may try to finish the season strong, but I think they're going to be experimenting with different lineups and people and see who actually is going to look good as far as next season goes, who they're going to retain, who they're going to try to discard and get rid of. So for Buffalo is one of the better, here to be one of the better passing teams in the NFL right now, and their offense is starting. Buffalo's offense really looks very good. I mean, you look at Buffalo, the one really bad game I can remember anyway that they had this season was when they played the Tennessee Titans, and that was a road game. But other than that, Buffalo to me seems to have been very consistent this year. They're certainly a team I think that can make some noise in the playoffs. They're a team also I see them getting that. I do see them getting their first playoff win this season, and would be the first one they've had, like in many years. I don't know how long it's been since they've won a postseason game, but I think they will get this. They will also get the playoff win this season that's eluded them for some time. And I'm going to take Buffalo to get this done on the road. And anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube NFL prediction segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.